again, and welcome to ManchTalk. My name's Tammy Simmons. I'm your host, and I'm glad you're tuning in. If you happened to catch my show last week, you'll remember that I featured a new business that's open on Elm Street called A&R Workshop. Two lovely ladies who are opening a DIY boutique store, which was really exciting. And this week I have somebody joining me talking about their new business on Elm Street. For anybody who knows me and Dan, you know that we like to play board games. I will clarify that we do not have Monopoly or Risk in our house, nor will we probably ever have Monopoly or Risk in our house. So you might be thinking, well, what the heck kind of board games do you play? Well, I was just sharing before we came on the air that, I like to play, Dan and I have different styles, so we've found that collaborative games, cooperative games where everybody's trying to beat the game together as opposed to fighting against each other, work best in our household. I like to play Arkham Horror, Pandemic Legacy. We play that. That takes like months and months to play. And then I like easy games where you roll dice, and there's a game called Zombie Dice, and I can play that all night long, and Sushi Go, which is a silly card game, and things like that. But anyways, the reason I'm talking about games is that joining me today is Keating Tufts. He is one of the owners of what will be New Hampshire's first board game cafe called Boards and Brews, right here on Elm Street. And Keating, thank you for coming in this morning and coming in to tell us all about the exciting news.
Thank you for having me. This is fantastic.
I love showing people new businesses. I love exposing things on Elm Street or on the West Side, because I live on the West Side, so this is as far east as I go, pretty much. So tell me about your business. How'd this come about?
I went to Central High School.
Yeah.
I decided to stay in town and go to SNU.
Yeah.
When all my friends were like, I'm going to big cities and having fun lives.
Yeah.
I was like, we're going to try and do something in Manchester.
Yep.
So when I started playing games, I was using them at work, and then I found out what a board game cafe was, and I was like, oh, that'd be super cool if our city had one, or even our state had one.
If there was one.
Yeah, and so I was like, all right, and I started thinking about it, and then we found this location on Elm Street, 941,
Yep.
right across from Ben & Jerry's,
Yeah.
in between the Birch and
Yep.
the New Bunnies. And we started working in the space, and we found out that it was going to be, it was going to work.
And you did a Kickstarter, right?
Yeah, we did a Kickstarter. So I started working in the space last summer.
Okay.
Okay. And it was
Overwhelming, I bet.
It was a bar before we were in there.
What was in there before? Some weird
It
name.
was
Spite.
Yeah, it was Spite.
It's
So that
nice.
was a fun place to go.
Darn, it's closed.
And so we had to basically go in there and really change it
Yeah.
up. We put in new floors, new ceiling, new walls, new tables, obviously everything. So it took a while, but yeah, probably a couple months after I'd been working in there, we were ready to launch the Kickstarter, and that went just like I couldn't believe it. I mean,
177 backers pledged $27,150 to bring this project to life. That's
Yeah.
cool. So people believe in you. I was very curious. I'm like, I wonder if we gave money to that.
yeah. Yeah, no, there was like a lot of people who were like after the fact were like, hey,
Yeah.
how do I get involved
Yeah.
in it? And it's crazy to think that, okay, we're launching the Kickstarter, everyone's going to know, put it out there
Yeah.
everywhere. And then like after a month,
People still don't know.
people
No.
still don't know. I
No.
couldn't believe it. But
It's amazing how it's very easy to think that people
I
know,
know, yeah,
what you know
totally.
or what you see.
Yep.
And-
But we got lucky in it, and it went really well. And we funded in the first 2 days. And so that made the rest of the month not as stressful. I was
little bit better.
expecting a entertaining month of shaking hands and going out
yeah.
every night, but it wasn't that crazy. It was nice to focus on the cafe,
Yep.
because once we funded, I was able to focus my attention back on fixing the cafe.
So Boards and Brews. Boards is obvious, board games.
Yep.
Brews, is that alcohol brew or coffee brew or both?
Both.
That's what I thought was
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah, both. So we're gonna have coffee, loose leaf tea, local craft beers,
Nice.
handcrafted cocktails, designed for the bar
Nice.
by Dave, one of our owners. So it's gonna be a little bit of everything.
Food?
Yeah, food.
What kind of
Definitely.
food?
We've got sandwiches. We've got a fryer later machine.
Yep, yep.
So we can have some fry food, charcuterie boards.
Nice.
Good stuff. Something simple, nothing crazy.
No. Can't go there and get a full-blown dinner.
Yeah,
well,
not
you
yet.
could,
Not
kind of.
yet.
Depends
Not
on
yet. We're working on it.
So how will this work? You'll have all sorts of board games. You brought a few examples today with you. Some of which we own at home. We have Settlers. I think everybody I know has
It's
Settlers.
funny you mentioned Pandemic Legacy.
Yeah.
Rob Davio designed this.
Really?
Who also designed Pandemic Legacy with Matt Leacock.
Yeah.
So before Rob Davio got in designing the amazing games that you were talking about, he worked for Parker Brothers and had his hand in some of these generic titles.
Huh. Well, I don't think a lot of people realize that, like, for a state the size of New Hampshire, we have a distinct, there's board game designers in New Hampshire. We have a board game distributor. I mean, Myriad Games. I don't know if anybody, the stores are gone, but they still exist for, you can go there and order stuff if you're a member or whatever, which is what we do. So it means we have to drive to Londonderry to go pick up Arkham horror sets and stuff, which I'm fine with. But I do notice that there's board games have expanded. Like Catan, you can find in Target and in regular stores. You don't have to go to some unique store. So I do think that the gaming base has expanded beyond just this.
Yeah. Oh, it's crazy.
Like
yeah, you can. I've noticed over the last couple of years, Targets and Walmart just got the exclusive rights. A couple months ago, they got the exclusive rights to this game called Fog of Love.
Okay.
Which is a game you play with your partner or your best friend, and you guys have secret objectives, but you're trying to work through a relationship together.
Oh, too fun.
And at the end, you could both win,
or
but
both lose.
Sometimes you both lose, but one person. So Walmart got the exclusive rights to that. So that was. There's all kinds of crazy stuff happening. All these
concept
big
of store having an exclusive rights.
Yeah, all these big companies are starting to buy up all the smaller guys, but yeah, there's a lot going on.
There's still a lot. I mean, I hear it because Dan talks. My other half talks about it all the time. He watches Board Game Geek and makes me watch YouTubes of I don't know those three guys who play games on TV.
Tom Vassell,
that's them. Yeah. It's fun.
Garcia.
Yeah. That's them.
Ultimately that's where I found out what a board game cafe was.
Yeah.
Was watching my buddy Tom on the morning breakfast he posts every Monday morning of game related stuff.
See?
That it was kind of fun to watch, and I found Snakes and Lattes, the cafe up in Toronto, and that cafe distributes a bunch of content about how to run a cafe.
Right, because it helps. I said this last week to the girls from A&R Workshop. I said, people think sometimes a competitor, even if they're not in the same locale, people think they are competitors, where actually the more board game cafes there are, the more customers everybody ends up with. It's actually like a backwards concept.
It's funny you mentioned that, because one of the reasons why I would say this cafe probably exists is because we were able to work with a local board game cafe down in Salem, Mass. Where Milton Bradley was. They had their headquarters there for 35 for forever. So they're in Salem, Mass, right outside of Salem. There's the Castle. So I went down. That's one of the closest. It's like an hour away. It's a boarding cafe, and I was like, "Hey guys, I want to do this up in Manchester. What advice for you?
How do I do this?"
And so they've been. Anytime they have questions, I ask them. So having I would guess if I had a mentor, I guess they would be. They would
the
be
next one will
them.
be easier. I had a similar experience. I was one of the people who originally built the dog park here in Manchester.
Oh, okay.
And it is funny because I just read an article, I don't know if it was in Union Leader or someplace yesterday, about Laconia. Laconia is trying to build a dog park similar to the way we did without having the community, the taxpayer pay for it. And but I remember when they reached out to us to ask us, so how did you do that? And I'm like, well, what do you mean, how did we put up a fence? I don't know. So it is funny, once one person or one business gets off the ground, it's easier for the next one because there's somebody to ask. So how does this work as far as playing the games in there? So I come in, when are you opening, by the way?
So we're going to be open in a few weeks from now. So our Kickstarter backers, they have a date that they know they can show up, and we're having our backer party there. That's in a couple weeks. As far as a grand opening or a soft open, we'll probably be open after that. So we're looking at a few weeks. We'll be open. At that point, you can come in the afternoon, probably 11 to 11. On the weekends, we'll probably be open later. You show up, you walk in the door, you'll see one of us.
Yep.
We'll show you to a table, and we'll take your order. We'll explain to you basically what's going on. So it's a $5 game fee to play, have access to the library.
$5 per person.
$5 per person.
Okay.
To have access to the library.
Yep.
We have the new number. Okay. It's
Today's number.
Today's number is 1,400 games.
Awesome. That's a lot of games.
So
but some of those are duplicates.
Some of them are duplicates, yeah. But
there's a couple that are probably.
We have 100 duplicates, so
you have 1,300
games,
unique games,
and 19 versions of Monopoly. But
I hate Monopoly. It's okay.
So Monopoly,
Monopoly's an awful game.
It's
mean.
Yeah, if people want to play Monopoly, they can. We have other games we would suggest.
Right.
So when you sit down, we'll say, have you played any games before?
Yep.
What's your favorite game? What are you guys in the mood for tonight? Yep. And we'll bring you a game, and we'll teach you a game. So you can go to the library and grab games, but you know,
if I wanted to say I had never played Code Names before, which I have because we have that one at home. I think I have 2 different versions of it. Yep. But if I didn't have Code Names, maybe I had played it with some friends someplace else, I could come in and I could pay. We could each pay $5, and we could pick a game that we wanted to play.
Yeah, you totally have access to the library. But also, if you don't even want to deal with that, if it's your first time,
you don't know,
we'll come and bring you games, and we'll teach you games.
That's cool.
Yeah,
and I can order a beer.
Yep.
Have a snack.
You sure can.
Wow, I like it. Yeah. So you are at 941 Elm Street. And is it going to be good coffee? It's just going to be mediocre coffee. Going to have like tell me your coffee stick.
Yeah, well, we've been working with Union Coffee over in Milford.
Yes.
So those guys have been expanding the last couple of years, and they just bought the last unit in their building to turn that into a rotisserie.
Yep.
A rotisserie?
A rotisserie?
They turned it into a rotisserie chicken, a giant rotisserie chicken.
Giant chicken in that unit. A roastery?
And so they got a roaster in there. They got a roaster, so they're roasting their own coffee.
They're roasting rotisserie chickens over there at Union Coffee in Milford.
So we're going to be working with those guys. Okay. And we want to have good coffee, especially
gotta have good iced coffee, because otherwise I complain.
Oh yes. Sam, our kitchen manager, she's all about the iced coffee, making sure that's the
iced coffee's
top-notch
the thing.
stuff.
In New Hampshire, that's another weird New Hampshire thing. I want to say we drink more iced coffee per capita. We also eat more ice cream in New Hampshire per capita than any place else in the country. Isn't that weird? Yeah. I don't know what that says about us, but iced coffee, like if you go down, you would think iced coffee would be in the warmer places. When we went to New Orleans or Florida, not so much.
Wow.
And I was like, I don't understand, because it's hot down here. Why wouldn't you sell iced coffee? I actually, in New Orleans, had to explain to them, okay, fine, just bring me some ice and some coffee, and I will make iced coffee. Yeah. It was very weird.
Yeah, no, I see my friends ordering iced coffee in the middle of the winter.
That's right.
I'm like, what are you doing?
You drink soda in the winter? That's cold. Same thing.
You shouldn't drink soda in the winter. Or anytime.
Well, that's probably true. Okay, so let's think. What did I leave off? What's your favorite game right now?
Right now. Like,
if you had to sit down and play a board game today, what would you pick?
Oh man,
See,
you really put me on the spot.
What's a game you hate?
Oh, that's an easy one.
Well, tell me.
Oh, you know, I was just looking at this last night.
Dominion. Tell me you hate Dominion.
Dominion, the deck builder?
I hate Dominion.
Oh, it started so many games.
I know.
We played Paperback. Have you played that?
I love Paperback.
Yes.
We got the second one. There's one called
Hardback.
Yep, we got that.
So
it's different, but I love Paperback.
Yep, we had one of our Kickstarter backers chose to have their name on Paperback.
We were the first Paperback story. We were on that Kickstarter.
Okay.
And we were probably one of the first people in the country to play the game once it was actually released, because it shipped out of Londonderry. We had it
GameSlut did that?
Yeah, so what happened was when they sent the first batch of Paperback out, think about it. Who was getting the first batch? The people in here for one day.
Yeah, so Tim Flowers, he did a small thing, right? And the game did really well.
Yes.
And it was hard to get for a while, and then he did another print.
We bought 6 at once. We were smart.
No way. Oh wow, that's a really cool game. So if you like Scrabble,
if you like Scrabble, you would love Paperback.
You like Paperback, and then there is a Dominion where you're buying more cards into your personal deck and trying to make your deck really good, so you can do cool stuff.
Kind of like Arkham Horror.
Build big letters or words.
Big words.
Big words.
What else? Wow, that's funny.
Yeah, no, my favorite game's Time Stories.
Oh, we have Time Stories, but I don't remember. I know we have time stories.
It's a long game. It can be because if you it's a
Time
cooperative
Stories?
game.
Is that the white box one?
It is the
oh,
white box.
I love Time Stories. We played I played through probably 3 or 4 of them.
Yes. So
I didn't like the one with there was one that was stupid. But we did, I think, 4 different versions.
Okay, yeah. And one of them you didn't like out of the first one.
Well, one of them was just too easy. It was like, well, this is easy.
Yeah.
But
yeah, everyone has different experiences
we
with that
have
game.
one. I think we have the Egyptian one that we haven't even cracked open.
Yeah, we just did that one.
Time Stories. I knew it when you said that. I'm like, I think we have Time Stories. Yeah.
No, it's just a good time with good friends. It
Yeah,
can take a while.
I really have determined over time that I like collaborative games.
Yeah,
because
it is a co-op.
or cooperative games because they're sometimes easier to teach people because they're not competing against you.
Yeah.
You're saying I can help you and we can discuss strategy. And
yeah,
you can learn.
they're not so stressed out that they're not
playing
getting
Monopoly.
they're not getting the rules
you didn't
right
get a
away.
hotel.
Yeah. Yep. You don't want to get hotels in Monopoly, by the way.
I don't play Monopoly.
You just want to buy all the houses.
Okay.
Keep that between us. So.
I won't tell anybody.
That's a good strategy, just in case
Too
you do open that box.
Let me think. So open 11 to 11, food, drink, games. What else?
Oh, 11 to 11.
Yeah, 11 to 11.
Yeah,
like you just before lunch till like after I'm asleep.
Yep. That's pretty much
I'm asleep by 11, but other people can come and play games there.
Yeah.
And good coffee. So good coffee's a thing. And in the next couple weeks.
Good tea too.
Okay.
We've got.
I drink tea, but I don't drink good tea.
Yeah, we're working with a small tea company
Nice.
owned by a Zen monk.
There you go.
Yeah, he's one of my best friends.
You're like, is he really a Zen monk or do you
Yeah, he's
say
ordained. He's an ordained
Really?
Buddhist monk.
Okay, then.
Ordained Zen monk.
Whatever, something.
Yeah,
Some kind of
whatever.
monk. Some kind of monk. He likes tea. I don't know. Okay, well, this is awesome. I'm excited. I hope. I'm sure they can find you online. I should have written that down and I didn't. I'm gonna guess it's / Don't tell me. I had it. / I forgot.
Oh, are you sure?
I did. / board NH Boards and Brews. No.
Oh, you're close. It's Boards and Brews NH.com.
.com.
So if you go there, you can see our library right now on the website. We also have the Facebook, and we also
You
have
should
the
always have
Instagram.
Facebook because
So-
even though there's a big argument that people are going to go off to, MeWe or some
Oh,
silliness,
jeez.
I'm like, I'm
I
not
don't
joining
know.
another thing.
I mean, I'm over it.
If I had 6 friends, maybe it would be easy to transfer to another platform, but I
Yeah.
have more than 6 friends.
Yeah.
And I have all these pages. I mean, I got this page,
Yeah.
a personal page,
Yeah,
a
no,
political
it
page.
works right now. So we'll ride
And it's free.
this out. Yeah.
And somebody's like, they're keeping your information. Yeah, did you not think they were
Yeah.
keeping your information? How do you think those ads show up? Anyway, so show me this game. Show me this Happy Salmon game. You were telling
you
me
want to see
about
this Happy Salmon game?
Yeah, I want to hear about Happy Salmon.
Okay, it's not the best 2-player game.
That's okay. You don't have to show me the whole game. Just show me the pieces of it. Yeah, see? Cute games.
All right, so Happy Salmon, everyone gets a deck of cards. And this one has our stickers on it.
So people don't walk off with your games.
No, so they don't. So we can play with multiple copies at the same time
Got it,
and
got
mix
it.
them up. Because what you're doing is you're basically you have your deck of cards
Yep.
and it's like you
Super
flip this
simple.
over, it says pound it, pound it, pound it, pound it, pound it, and you get rid of it. And so you're trying to get rid of your cards.
Right.
If you're going pound it and no one else has a pound it card showing, and you're not getting anybody and they're all having fun without you, you can switch it and put it on the bottom.
And then you
go
try
to the next
do the next
card.
thing. Switcheroo.
Switcheroo, so you switch seats with the
So
person.
it's a moving.
Oh, it's totally a moving
That
game.
sounds fun.
It's the type of game that you play. It takes 2 minutes to play,
Yep.
and everyone's like, "What are you playing? Let me play." And then we got the high five card. High five.
High five.
There we go.
There
So
you go.
it's got some
Awesome.
stuff. All right, and then we have to show you the best one. There's the Happy Salmon.
What do you have to do with Happy Salmon? Happy
Happy
Salmon.
Salmon. Happy Salmon.
I love games.
There we
so
go.
see, silly stuff. You don't have to.
Yeah.
You don't have to spend 4 hours on. A lot of
No.
times when people talk about games, they think different things. People think Dungeons and Dragons, which is a whole different world,
Yep.
or they think Monopoly, which is a whole different world, or they think like Parcheesi. And I'm like, yeah, there's a whole. There's a whole world of games out
Kinda
there.
like-
They can take 20 minutes.
Yeah.
They can take 2 hours.
I've heard it compared to video games
Yeah.
where Pong
Yeah. Bing.
started. Was that in New Hampshire?
No,
Where's that guy
that
from? The guy
I don't
who
know
did-
if Pong was started in New Hampshire, but I used to work for a company called Coleco, which made ColecoVision, which
Okay.
was handheld games, and
Yeah.
that was way back when. So I got to game test those. Small world, right?
Wow. So there was Pong, and then now you have like the virtual reality games that are
crazy.
Crazy, and the PS
whatever the ones running around the mountains,
out,
I don't know.
And the Nintendo Switch.
I just watched. Dan laughs that he's like, come on, you can play. I'm like, no, I'll just watch. That's fine.
And then we have Monopoly, which is equivalent to Pong.
Yeah.
And then now the games have gone.
There's every gamut, every subject, and then they make all these versions. Clue, the Harry Potter version, Star Wars.
You can actually make decisions in these games.
Yeah.
Where Monopoly,
you just kind of got to roll and go and roll and go.
Yeah,
It's cool. Yeah. Well, I appreciate you coming on. I wish you the best of success. I hope you're open by the 23rd of April because that's Dan's birthday, so that'd be a good reason for us to come out.
Mm-hmm.
And I will definitely be there, and I will. Maybe in a couple months we'll have you back, and you can tell us all about your successes.
Yeah. I'm excited.
Because I'm excited because good businesses, new ventures, more businesses on Elm Street, more reasons to come on out and see the good things that are in Manchester. So that is Boards and Brews, 941 Elm Street. Thank you, Keating, for that. I do want to go over a couple things that are coming up in the next couple weeks that are going on in and around Manchester. This coming Sunday, the 8th, from 9 to 3, over at Manchester Makerspace, who I'm hoping to have on in the next couple weeks. They are doing a volunteer day with a pancake breakfast. That's this Sunday, April 8th from 9 to 3, 36 Old Granite Street. That's the little side street over near the Bank of America where Granite meets Elm. Manchester Makerspace is a collaborative organization of members who maintain a shared workspace, tooling, and skills in the Manchester community. They provide access to resources and tools and whatnot, so if you don't have your own workshop, you can join Makerspace, I believe, by the month, and then go in and they'll help you do whatever project you're working on. It's all volunteer-based, and they're doing a big cleanup with a pancake breakfast this Sunday, April 8th. You can get more information on Facebook at /MHT Makerspace or at manchestermakerspace.org. Coming up next week on Friday the 13th, you can join Breathe New Hampshire at Veterans Memorial Park for Bag the Butts. If you've ever heard me talk, I cannot stand cigarette butts on the ground. It's just absolutely disgusting. I don't like smoking in the first place, and then watching people just throw it on the ground as if it's going to miraculously disappear was beyond me. Anyways, Breathe New Hampshire is doing a cleanup in Veterans Park. You can come anytime between, I believe it's noon and 4. And they'll have all the tools and supplies you need to help clean up the park. You can get more information by calling 669-2411 or visit breathenh.org. Also, that weekend on Saturday the 14th is the Manchester Library $10 a book bags or $10 a bag book sale. You can bring in a paper grocery bag, a typical paper grocery bag. You can go to the Manchester Library on Pine Street. Fill up the bag with they have over 10,000 titles and music scores and things like that to choose from. You fill up the bag, you pay $10. It's a great way to support the library and get some good stuff for your own house, and all the proceeds go to programs there at the library. For more information, you can call Eileen Reddy at 624-6550 or email her at ereddy, that's EREDDY, at manchesternh.gov. Also, Saturday the 4th, the New Hampshire Audubon Earth Day Festival, Be Informed, that's BEE Informed, will take place out at the New Hampshire Audubon Center in Massabesic. That's at 26 Audubon Way over in Auburn, not quite Manchester, but right outside. This is the 11th annual festival, and they will be focusing on how you can help with our native bee pollinators. Bees are important. Bees pollinate all our fruits and vegetables and keep everything going, so it's important to know how to attract bees and keep them healthy and alive. They'll also have a rehabilitated raptor that they're going to release back into the wild. They're going to have a variety of incredible live caterpillars with the Caterpillar Lab, and they'll have naturalist, boy, that's a tough one, led nature walks. They'll also have live animals, drawings, live music, food to buy, things like that. That is $7 a person, $20 for families. That's Saturday the 14th. You can get more information by calling 668-2045 or visit NH Audubon. That's NHAUDUBON.org. Monday the 16th at the West Manchester Library is their monthly Lego Lab, which is always cool because Legos are fun. The West Manchester Library, if you've never been there, is right next to the Senior Center on Main Street. I believe it's 76 South, North Main Street. They do this once a month. It's free, but you do have to register. You can meet, build, and make Lego friends using 10,000 Lego pieces donated by Lego Systems. This is for ages 3 to 12-year-olds, so sorry, adults, you can't go play with Legos. For more information, you can call the library at 624-6560. I also wanted to mention, this is not for a bit, but on May 20th, the New Horizons Walk Against Hunger will be taking place. It's a 5K walk run that kicks off at noon on the 20th at Veterans Park. As you know, I'm involved in the Manchester Republican Committee, and we are organizing a team to walk and raise tons of money for to fight against hunger in our community. If you're interested in joining the Manchester GOP walk team, you can email info@manchestergop.com, or you can reach out to me here at the TV show. My email here is ManchTalk@gmail.com. You can also find me on Facebook or on Twitter, although I don't tweet that often, to be honest. But if you want to walk with the Manchester GOP or donate to the cause of fighting hunger, you can search for our webpage at Manchester Republican Committee on Facebook, or go to manchestergop.com. You can also come to our monthly meetings. Those are the third Wednesday of the month at Murphy's Tap Room at 6 o'clock. Maybe we'll see some new faces there because election season is coming up. That's all I have for today. Thank you again, Keating, for joining me. I can't wait for Boards and Brews to open, and hopefully spring weather will return soon. It doesn't look that great for the next week or so, but at least it's not below freezing. That's all I have. Have a great week, and I will see you next week. Bye.